In this video, we will talk about email outreach to influencers and to service providers and different companies on the internet. And in this conversation, I decided to invite Paulina from Shopkeeper and Tobias with Christina from Sermondo. Hello, guys. And could you shortly introduce what you do in the Amazon space and online? And then we'll do the conversation. Paulina, do you want to start?
Sure. Hi. So my name is Paulina. I'm the founder of Shopkeeper, and I am also an Amazon seller. So this is a curious topic for me, the outreach management, because I do a lot of that in my business to promote Shopkeeper, and hope it's going to be a good conversation today.
Tobias?
Hello, my name is Tobias. I'm the founder of Sermondo, and we help Amazon sellers to find the best service providers to grow the business.
Did we forget anyone?
Hi guys, I'm Christina. I'm also working at Sermondo. I'm responsible for business development there, and Toby already introduced what we're doing.
So I will start from my side. I don't do much of outreach, but a lot of people are reaching out to me, and usually I respond to most of the requests, maybe 90%. But sometimes I can see the difference when how people are coming to me and in which way they are talking in their emails or Facebook messages. And you guys working on your own outreach, and you are trying to get attention of other influencers or companies, and in this way you connect to them. So I don't know where we can start. Tobias, I know you 1 year ago started to contact different companies to make them to attract them to the Sermondo, right? Which is the database of Amazon seller service providers, right?
Yeah, so when we started out to build our directory, it was very hard to reach out to people because since it was an empty directory, like nobody was interested. I mean, the question was, why should they be on there if there's no traffic yet for them? And so the first few service providers were the hardest to convince to sign up. And in these cases, you really need to learn more about the craftsmanship of reaching out to people. And that was the first touch point for me with this topic in general. And I really learned that there's a huge difference between like small tweaks in one sentence that can make a huge difference and can really make the difference if they would say, wow, this is a spam or something, or if they say, wow, this sounds interesting. And just my kind of key learning was that it's very hard to keep the outreach mail short at the same time while still trying to describe what you're doing and describe that you're delivering content and that you're not only focused on your own benefits, that you're more like offering benefits to the people that you're reaching out to.
And you mean that in the process you learned some strategies how to craft this email in a better way. Can you just tell us what are these two sentences, magic sentences we can send to influencers? Okay,
so unfortunately it's not that easy. There is no rule. There are only a few best practices on how to form these sentences. And I think it's important that you always focus everything on the benefit for the people that you're reaching out to. And it's very hard because at the same time, you want to kind of communicate what you're doing and what your company's doing and what your goal is. But you really have to slow down talking too much about, hey, it's my name is this and that, and we're doing this and that. If you start like this, they're already not interested anymore very often. So and also these cold outreach emails, especially if you don't have any data of the people that you're reaching out to. I mean, there's a difference if you're speaking like, hi, and then you fill in the name. I see that you're doing, and then you have another blank where you're putting in like the position of the person that you're reaching out to. And then you need to have immediately the point where you tell them what's in for them, because otherwise they won't be interested anymore, because they experienced business people, especially nowadays, they're very good at they will smell from miles away if like someone is reaching out for them because they're only there for their own interest. So it's very hard to make clear very, very quick that that there's something in for them.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm getting sometimes emails, very long emails, and the company is just talking how great, how big they are, and how much affiliate commission they could pay me if I promote them.
That's one great example.
They don't understand that maybe I'm getting such email every week once, so I couldn't really promote 50 different companies with their great commissions. And Paulina, can you tell a little bit from your experience? I know you are reaching out to different Amazon industry influencers, right? And I don't know if you want to tell why you are reaching out to them, but maybe you can share your experience.
So I've decided that this it's just most companies in our niche, in Amazon software niche, they are doing outreach of some kind. Some people a little bit, some people a lot. So we are doing it as well. So the goal of it is to do usually cross promotions of some sort. So either you record a video with someone together, or they publish it on their YouTube channel, you publish it on yours, all kinds of cross promotions. So to get them to even be convinced to even read your email when they don't know who you are and they've never heard of you, and you are in this big list of other emails getting lost there. The one thing that worked for me and that most people are afraid to try is to not be so serious. And this is that many people in their businesses are trying to be, well, I am in business, so I'm going to be serious because this is a serious business. And then their email sounds very dry, very formal, very corporate. And that email just so easy to discard. We are from the leading industry, and you just read 3 words, you already delete it. So instead, I always try to be completely informal, but not to the vulgar level. There's informal and there's too informal, right? So you have to know the difference. In business, there is a difference. So don't go to completely friends level, but try to be informal. For example, my subject line would say, let's do a video together. Everything with small caps, right? So I'm not using capitals, like I'm not saying video suggestion for company X, I'm just saying, let's do a video together. And that is very informal, but still, formal enough what company could say. And then inside the email, so it depends what I am asking for. Sometimes I could ask for this. Sometimes I want to post them on my resources page. Sometimes I would like to do some other kind of collaboration. On my list, there are 18 types of different collaborations that I could have with each of those influencers, where I bring value and they bring value as well. So out of these 18 different things, I have 18 different ways to approach them. So going back to being not so serious, you could also in the text, when you're talking about them, you could describe them informally and don't start talking about yourself in big paragraphs. Very often, I don't even mention nothing about myself. The whole 3 paragraphs are only about them. And that is what draws their attention the most. And only at the end, maybe in postscriptum, I tell them what is the benefit for me. I say, well, my audience will get the content and you will get, branding in exchange or something like that. So I tell them why I'm even giving all this value. But basically all the 3 paragraphs is about them. For example, first paragraph, so I've seen that you are doing this and you are sort of an expert on this topic. You were a speaker there, so would you be interested if we are talking about this? So I completely talk just about them, the whole thing, and then I list some benefits. If you do this with me, you are going to get this, you're going to be more famous, you're going to be whatever I feel that they will convert on. So basically, the 3 rules is all about them, a little bit informal, including the subject line, that would not be too formal something, and that will make them open and read it. Also, when you have the 3 paragraphs, always make the most important information in the first 4 words. First 4 words of each paragraph is what most people skim. I just skim beginning of paragraph, discard it. If you are saying there, we are the leading edge company in the marketing industry of whatever of, I'm not even reading anymore. So put whatever industry you're in the first keywords, so that people actually would know what you're saying. And then tell very exactly what you want in the last paragraph. So your call to action should be the ending sentence there. So for example, I like to use questions as a last sentence, or my Calendly link, some sort of action item, not like, what do you think we collaborate? And then that's it. You should give them something what they can do next, don't give them a job to sit and think, oh, how we should collaborate with this guy. Give them exact action item that they could act on. Schedule a call, or tell me yes or no on this, or which topic you want to talk about, or whatever you are asking them to do. Usually if you're an e-commerce seller and you have a Shopify website and you do outreach for influencers, for example, to promote your product. So let's say you're selling perfume and you want influencers to show the perfume in the video review. So also give them an action item in the last sentence. It's always very important. Tell them exactly what you want from them. Don't just say, oh, we have a school product, an affiliate program. Are you interested? Like, this is not good enough. You have to give them next action step, So please send me your address so I can send you, or give me something like that kind of thing. So these things work.
Talking about email outreach, very often when I get such email, people say, oh, I love what you work and I really enjoyed your videos. And sometimes I have, of course, very often this sentence is a standard what people put. They don't even know who I am. So I sometimes reply, okay, tell me exactly which videos inspired you, just to double check if that person watched anything. And if that person will send me a link to a video or blog post, which is like, I'm not proud of, I will know that probably they didn't really check what I'm doing. They just randomly selected one of my videos and pretended that this is what inspired them. But without watching that video, they don't know that it's maybe one of the worst videos I made. So, Christina, you don't do email outreach. You do on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, it depends actually. And I also want to agree with Paulina that you have to be a little informal with some people, but I would say it really depends on the category, also the way you outreach, because there are firms that are, especially like in the finance or legal sector, that are very conservative with their reaching out and which kind of emails they reach. So if I try to them, I use emails because they're more used to it and they trust emails more. But for example, when I'm reaching out to marketing agencies or also like Paulina, to influencers to do videos with, I would just jump on the LinkedIn and check some information about them and also do some research, as you said, because no one likes those generic messages where you just have those blank spots and just put in the industry and the name. But I really try to maybe read a post they made on LinkedIn, and then that's how I start the conversation. I'm like, hey, I read your post about PPC management. I really like this and that part, so they really know that I engaged with their content and I'm really interested in them and what they're doing. This is what I usually put first. Then they reply, thank you so much, nice to connect, whatever. And then I'm like, hey, I have an idea how we can collaborate or how we can help you get more clients for your business. And then usually they're so positive towards you because you already showed that you have genuine interest in them, that they are more than happy to talk about it. And then usually I try to get on the phone with them, like on Skype for like 10, 15 minutes. It's usually enough to convince them to do what I want from them. And yeah, that's how I do it.
Actually, I remember that I also was outreaching different speakers and influencers in the industry when I was creating virtual summits in the past. And of course, I wanted to draw attention of bigger names to bring them to my virtual summit. And what worked quite well is recording personalized videos for each of these people I want to attract. So basically, of course, I had to research for their email addresses, and then I record the video, which is maximum 2 minutes, maybe 1.5 minutes. And I invite that person mentioning his or her name, and I say, I connect a little bit with that person, saying that maybe I followed him and I mentioned maybe some of his work or her work. And then I say it would be a great addition if they could share their expertise with their audience. And there would be, of course, an exposure for them. And with this video, I got feedback from these influencers that that's why they responded to me, just because I think the subject was saying personal invitation, and then in the parentheses I put video. So they were like, okay, in the subject it says personal invitation and video. So, and when they open, there is a screenshot of me talking, and then when they click on the YouTube link, it's an unlisted video, and in the title of the video is their name, invitation for this and this name, and when they start listening, they hear their name. So some people do this kind of video outreach. Let's say they record the core message, and then they even just record general message for everyone without personalizing, or sometimes they record the middle of the message and then they record the name, mentioning of the name at the beginning, and then they cut the video. But I think it should be like one short video so that people see that you took action. And what I do more, I go outside and record video outside, not inside the house, because like this in front of the webcam, it's very easy to record for anyone. But one person, in my imagination, one person sees that I recorded a video outside, maybe even in the place where there are a lot of people passing by, you can see that person went out of the box and created this video and sent to you. So this is my tip. Of course, we're all talking about this influencer outreach. It's all good for any kind of entrepreneurs, but also for Amazon sellers which want to maybe offer their product to different YouTube or bloggers, YouTubers or bloggers. So
that's right.
I think this is...
Augustas, you mentioned the video, personalized video for each, but I think that is very, very time consuming to make those. I have the service I just opened up on my browser. I want to show you. I haven't used this service, but it's called Limblist, and basically it says send cold emails that get replies. So that's exactly what they do. You sort of create a template like that, and then it puts in the person's name, so it looks like this, Bonjour Tina from Stripe, and that is like a personalized picture that they send. But I have seen other services online as well which they do videos that are personalized. So somebody is holding like a cup, and then it says Starbucks, and then there's Augusta's name here, and then you're passing by a banner and something else. So there are companies which actually do mass production of videos like that. You just provide them an Excel sheet, and they produce many videos for you that you can use in your emails. So if you want to have your open rates really high, I think that's the way to go. Video
I guess there are different stages of personalization, because Augustus really put a ton of effort in, and maybe those influencers who are like really hard to get in contact with, they really like appreciated that he went he walked this extra mile. So I think if for this method, if you really want to reach out to a few people who are like super famous and where you're like don't even get a reply normally, or you wouldn't even expect to get a reply from them, in these cases it maybe makes sense to really like put in this effort. But yeah, it might be really hard to scale this if you want to reach out to 1,000 people. So your approach might be something in between, like something in between plain email and this very personalized email. But already it might be a great opportunity, like to get their attention at least.
Yeah, talking about this mass production of personalized videos, once I subscribed to a virtual summit about 3 years ago, and it was in a different fitness industry, and I am not interested in fitness, but I wanted to see how they do their virtual summit. And after like 2 weeks before the event, I received an email from them with a screenshot of a guy having my name written by hand on the whiteboard. And then I clicked, and it was written, it's a video. I clicked, I couldn't believe that they made a video just for me. And in the video, the guy said my name, and he wrote my name on the whiteboard. And when I reached out to them to ask what they were doing, and they said, indeed, they had like 1,500 subscribers. There were 3 guys doing this, so they split like 400 or 500 videos each, and they recorded in front of the camera. So before they each shot, they would change the whiteboard, the name on the whiteboard, and record a quick like 1 minute video, which they talk the same to everyone, but they mentioned the name. It was very powerful, but in that case, I don't think it was useful for them, because we were like free subscribers. And the end product was quite cheap, maybe $70 or $80. So they put a lot of effort into that. But it's difficult to scale with videos.
What about subject lines? I just talked recently to Hanson Wu from Feedback Wiz, and he is running email marketing software for Amazon sellers, and he has a lot of data of what subject lines get the highest open rates, and he told me a few of these subject lines, and he said mostly, yes, it's the informal ones that get the open rates the highest, so above 50-60% he's getting. So for example, one that works is all lowercase, question about company X. So, whatever the company you are, question about Sermondo, and then it gets you to open it, right? So he said informal, but something that is also personalized in the subject, but doesn't reveal your pitch. If you're pitching them in that first sentence, which is the preview in Gmail, or in the subject line, if you're pitching anything, then it's more likely to get deleted. So if you're not pitching in those first two things, just about them, that works as well. What other subject lines do you think work? What do you work on you?
I think when we first started reaching out to service providers to get them listed on Sermondo, I just talked what I wanted to say. So I put in getting XY promoted on Sermondo, and I got really good response with that because people like to get promoted. At first I also put in free of charge, but that sounded too scammy. And also you mentioned earlier that only at the end you reveal why you are delivering the value to those people. And I think that's really an important step because people are like, okay, but why would you give that to me? All of that value and all of that benefits, what's in for you? So I also like to include that at the end. And sometimes I also tease that in the subject line already, how our firms can benefit each other or whatever, something in that kind of sense.
I also ask myself, what should be the goal? Should the only goal be that someone is opening the email? Then you could also write something that's just shocking or something. Should your only goal be oh my God, picture of you or something? No, I'm just, it would be too scammy, of course, but there are different strategies, and I don't know, should the only goal be to have them open the email and then maybe they're they're already mad at you because they feel they got clickbaited. You only wanted them to open this email, or should you already prepare them to what's inside of the email?
I like the second approach better, and it works better for us to directly say what you want from them, because people have so little time, especially for reading emails, that they don't want to read a misleading headline and then they open the email and they're like, okay, but what part of the email is referring to the subject line? So I think, again, it depends on the branch the firm is in, and also what kind of person and what kind of role you're messaging. But I think for most people, it's better to just directly say what you have to say. And as Paulina said, a maximum of 3 paragraphs, and then it should refer to the subject line and not putting something like, is your company scamming people? And people are like, oh my God, we get bad reviews or something. So just say what you have to say and people will appreciate it in most cases.
Mm-hmm. Talking about subject lines, I read almost all the emails, so I sometimes don't even pay attention to the subject lines. Of course, if it's attractive, it will be open earlier than others. Some emails I wait for several days to open, but I just checked a few days ago, I think 1 week ago, I got an outreach from one of the software companies on Amazon, and their subject line was how to increase your income and attract more followers. What do you think about such subject line? How to increase your income and attract more followers. I think when I saw this subject line, I was not sure, I couldn't understand that some company is outreaching me, and maybe I don't want to increase my income. I want to provide value. Yeah, I want to provide value to the people. So yeah, it was and that email of that company was all about them, how many users they have, and that they work with different influencers. And I said, okay, I have a kind of trick for software companies. I just tell them my conditions for demomondays.com project, where I interview different softwares and they pay me money to be featured in this video series. So I just send them, standard rates for this, and I don't even care about their conditions, just because it's very difficult to promote 30, 40 different companies. And in this case, my goal is to inform Amazon seller about different opportunities and different software solutions. And of course, I want to earn money from promoting them, but I don't really associate myself with one specific company, and I don't push one company specifically most of the time. Yes.
Talking about the call to action again, Paulina mentioned it. I think it's a very crucial part of an outreach email, because that's your actually goal. I mean, you want them to do something. And I heard there are also different opinions on this. What do you think? What works better? Like asking them to do something, like click this link and sign up now or something, or to end with a question, like at least get them engaged. So I mean, if they already answered the email, you're already in touch with them, and then it's not cold anymore. It's a normal conversation from this point on. So what do you think works better? Asking a question or telling them to do something?
I had some people when I was outreaching, some people, especially those bigger stars, the Amazon influencers, or also when I was doing outreach for my product, for Instagram out. So those bigger stars actually tend to either not do nothing or right away take action. So for example, when I was getting, I can tell the name, everybody knows him, and he will be more famous if we mention him. So it was Liran Hirschkorn that basically didn't even reply to my email. He just signed up on the calendar for the interview, schedule recording. No email, nothing to say, yes, I will schedule, or let's agree, or that's it, scheduled, we did the interview, done. So there are people that take action right away without you even asking them. It's very personal, if you just try one approach all the time, you will get only a certain group of people converting on your action, and then you should keep switching up your tactics all the time. Don't stick like 1 year with the same tactic, I think in the end, people buy from people. That's the key thing in any cold outreach. And you can't, after first cold outreach, next time you say, hey, did you get my email? And 1 more week later, just checking in. What's wrong with you? What is this? I don't know who you are. Just get out, and then I click spam on the third one. So basically, people buy from people. So try to know me somehow, or find some touch points where we can actually interact, either get an introduction from someone, or find some common point or something, send a video of them saying something comparing to what you said. I don't know, invent whatever creative ways. Just people don't buy from anonymous companies. They buy from other people. So it's nice. Even if you're cold outreaching to me today, next time you send me something else interesting, next time again, I'm getting warmed up to you now, and eventually I see you there on Facebook, on YouTube, and then I will know, oh, this guy, okay, maybe he's interesting, so just keep creative, keep creating new in interesting ways, and keep changing up things. I think that's what works best.
I was also thinking from a perspective of these companies which are coming to me, let's say if it's a software company, it's clear what I can offer. I can offer to make a demo of their product. But when it is about services, and these companies, when they send an email to me, I realize that they are very proud of their product, of their service, what they do. They are very confident, and they just want to be known. And maybe I didn't think about this before, but they forget, of course, that they don't realize that I have many of such emails. I'm receiving a lot of such requests, let's say. Well, not every day, but let's say a couple per week or one per week. But on their side, they are really proud of that. And for me, as a person who has audience, I really would like to serve them. So, of course, with some of them, if they in that case, I'm choosing maybe to work or not with them about when I see their creativity in the email outreach or in the message outreach or whatever they did. But the more creative they are, the probably more likely I will like, oh, wow, it's a creative approach. Let's do something together. And if it's just a standard plain text inviting to earn money from their promoting their services, I would love to promote them, but it's not very, doesn't sound creative. Yeah, now I created argument that it should be creative in order to get to draw my attention.
I have a question to you guys. What do you think about emojis? When I was doing Instagram for my apparel brand for Amazon, Instagram, you know, in your description, you can have like little finger emojis pointing to your URL link, you know, and whenever you use in Facebook posts and Instagram posts, you use emojis, that works very nicely. Somehow it just matches well with those platforms. What do you think about email subject? What about these emojis or even GIF images in the email? What's your opinion?
I wouldn't use it in emails. I think, as you said, I think it's good for social platforms, but also I think LinkedIn and Facebook are pretty different, even though those are both social platforms. But on LinkedIn, you have to be really, you have to really spare with emojis. Maybe once in a while put one there. I did it a lot in the beginning, but I got some feedback that it kind of seems unprofessional if you put emojis in your messages or even on your profile. So I decided to turn it off, and my response rate got much better because I think it has like the scammy touch. Also in emails, because it's more like a conventional way to outreach to someone. So it really seems like some sort of advertising, I think, because all of those advertising newsletters you subscribe to from online shops or whatever, they always use emojis. It's like, oh, get 30% off, and then it's like 20 flame emojis, and you're so used to this being like, okay, someone wants to sell me something that I actually don't need, that I think that you connect that with a bad feeling. But on Facebook, I think it can work pretty well, but also don't overuse it. Maybe a smiley here and then. I don't know, if you sell umbrellas, use an umbrella emoji, whatever, something that just suits your message, but don't overdo it. That would be my advice.
I guess it also depends on the audience that you want to reach out to. I guess there are a few people who would really say they don't want to work with people who use emojis because it's unprofessional, while maybe young people don't even think about like what's the difference if they use emojis or not, or they get even attracted by that.
Like when I'm looking now at my inbox of my business email, I don't have any emojis shown up in the subject lines. So that means if I would receive now emoji, and sometimes I receive emoji in the subject line, and usually it's a newsletter of one of the software companies or services. And it triggers me, but as Christina said, for me it's okay. It's like more a childish way, like for me to put an emoji, I would need like extra 30 seconds to find the way how to do it. And I would think like, why that person wasted time? If it would be a personal outreach email to me with emojis, I would think, oh man, this guy like spent so much time on on creating this email with emojis instead of like doing useful stuff. And I remember Danny Macmillan, when he was selling tickets to his live conference, he said that one big Amazon seller also, no, maybe I shouldn't say this because then if Danny Macmillan maybe will not like, so we'll cut this part. Okay, so.
Can I say one more thing about the GIFs? I think GIFs can work really, really well also with influential people where you might be scared to reach out to them because you're like, oh, they have so much reach, they have so many followers, I don't know what to say to them. But as I said, when you stalk a little on their LinkedIn profile, you can see pretty quickly how they're engaging with their audience. And there are a lot of people on LinkedIn that like to share GIFs or comment GIFs. So you know that, I don't know, maybe they like memes or whatever, you know, that they're just humorous person. So if you reach out to them, sometimes you can include them and then they think you're funny and then you just kind of start a casual conversation, and it doesn't really feel like a sales talk or trying to convince them of something, but they then want to do something with you because you already have that positive connection. But really watch out. Some people don't like it at all. I experienced that too. They're like, what is this? And then you're like, oh yeah, sorry, I thought it's funny. And then they don't think it's funny. So really do your homework and research your profiles a little. That's what LinkedIn is for.
You know, basically after the emailing, there is something that you sometimes get to the wall and you cannot get to the person, you know, and it's possible that that person simply doesn't respond on that channel very well. Sometimes people have inboxes and they don't have inbox zero policy, so they have hundreds of emails accumulated and you are just being pushed down whenever you email them. They don't get to it very quickly. So it's a good idea once you send like 3 tries to that person to maybe switch the channel, you know, maybe something like Christina is doing, do LinkedIn outreach, you know, and then try something else on LinkedIn, maybe on Facebook page that they have or something like that. So try just different channels to reach the same person. Sometimes they read their own comments, you know, if they're a small solopreneur, they read comments on their YouTube videos, right? So reply with something interesting and don't spam it, of course, but just, you know, make it really unique, interesting, nothing they've seen before, let's say, not too out of the box so that they think, who is this crazy guy? Not like that, but something, for example, on LinkedIn, I keep getting people requests to accept my connection. I accept them and right away they paste me something copy pasted. So thank you for accepting my invitation. Now we are this is this, that, we are doing that, we are. Are you interested? You know, something like that for like, I don't know, 200 words. I always just close this message and I don't know. So do something different and you will not be one of those people who are sending just copy pasted text, and you will definitely stand out right away, you know. Send them, for example, I can share a trick that I've done. So there was this guy who had his bad LinkedIn header picture, and I basically photoshopped a good LinkedIn header picture with him being a speaker at some conference and, you know, there, and then it all looks like his own LinkedIn profile. Just basically went in and edited code on HTML and posted him that image. He said, hey, that would look so much better, you know. And he said, oh, criticizing already, and then something like that, you know. So it started the conversation. So don't be afraid to reach out. Well, again, like Christina said, it depends what type of people you're reaching out. If it's the legal departments of big companies, be more serious, you know. But I am reaching out to solopreneurs or small influencers, you know, mini micro influencers. They're on their own. They're normal people. They're not so corporate. So choose your wording and language and in whoever you're talking to, and that will work the best, I think.
What I also realized that we say, oh, don't be like everyone else. But on the other hand, these companies don't really know how everybody is approaching influencers. So basically, maybe the first thought which is coming, like, oh, I will write an email and offer affiliate commission to an influencer. Maybe you have to skip the first thought and the first, second, the third thought and take the fourth creative approach. Because so maybe in this way you can filter out these usual ways how people think they have to reach out to influencers.
I wanted to say something about reaching out to the same person on different platforms. I think you can do that, but it should be a maximum of 2 ways of contacting them, because otherwise they can feel like cornered, like they can't escape you. Sometimes people are just busy, like they like your idea, but they don't have the time to respond. And then they read your email first and maybe think, okay, I will reply tomorrow. And then they get a Facebook message and a LinkedIn message. And they're like, okay, what is happening? Why is this happening? And then they kind of have this negative feeling towards you. So I would say maybe reach out by email, wait 3 days. If they don't reply, maybe message them on LinkedIn like, hey, I sent you an email 3 days ago. I don't know if you saw it. I thought I'd reach out again on LinkedIn to talk about X, Y. But don't try too many different platforms, because I think that would be too, they feel cornered.
So I hope listeners are still there. It's quite long conversation. I hope it will be interesting for Amazon sellers to learn how they can reach out to different influencers in their Amazon product category and niche. And so if you have any kind of final tips, well, my tip is just to be creative. I don't know if you have anything we haven't said and you want to share.
My tip is people buy from people. I already said it, but that's the most important one.
Yeah, I agree with Paulina. The most important thing is don't be scared to reach out, because they're also just people. They have a life, they might be married, they have a pet, whatever. They're also people, not just...
All right. And Tobias, are you still there? I agree with you. Can you say something?
Yeah, so my final advice would also be to write the email in the same way like you would sell something to a person that you would meet like in real life. There are some approaches where you would say, first describe their current situation, then describe their goal, what they might want to reach. So for a company, if you know what's their goal, to get, for example, more exposure or something, describe how you could help them to do that, and just build the email in a way, in the same way like you would sell it to them on a phone call.
And my tip would be use video. I like videos, so if you would send me or I think if you send a video to an influencer, it's powerful because person doesn't only see how you write, how you talk, but also they see your personality, and maybe they resonate immediately with, or maybe you're a beautiful lady. So yeah.
Maybe we should now do a giveaway. Everyone who sees this and who is sending Augustus a video of him referring to this video, he will give you something, any surprise.
Yeah, maybe a discount to the upcoming live conferences for Amazon sellers. So let's talk, how can people reach out to you? So Paulina, how can people reach out to you? And what kind of reaching out would not be ignored by you?
I ignore most of them, unfortunately. I am the one who reaches out. Actually, if they match my interests at the time very well, if they somehow know like if I'm in the stage of going to conferences to speak and they somehow, email me about conferences or speaking or something like that, I'll be very interested. So sometimes it's a matter of timing as well. They may be launching a new product. They have no time to deal with it, but maybe they will be interested once they get to promotion stage of that product. So sometimes the little bit insider information helps. So I guess I always respond to those who match my current state very well. So I like when they email again, maybe 6 months later and again 6 months later, because I am always in a different stage on my business. So that's what works best, the timing, if they match it nicely.
So how can people find you? So basically they cannot contact you if they liked what you said.
Yeah, actually, no. No. I am a founder of shopkeeper.com, so I write a blog there. You can just go shopkeeper.com/blog, and at the bottom of each article there are links for LinkedIn and email, and you can contact me anytime. Just be creative in the way you do it, and I will reply.
And Tobias and Christina, you run Sermondo. So for Amazon service providers who are listening this and want to reach out to all of us and to Sermondo, well, Sermondo will be open to any kind of services, right? Can you tell a little bit about Sermondo?
Yeah, so at Sermondo, we have 18 different categories, kind of all categories that Amazon sellers, all kind of services that they need to grow their business. And in terms of reaching out to us, I guess if you send an email to our support@sermondo.com email, and the email is referring to me, then Christina won't stop nagging and pushing me until they will finally answer. So this is how we make sure that we do not miss any email.
And Christina, how can people reach out to you?
First of all, I want to say that I feel honored that my email went through to Paulina when I reached out to her. Thanks for that. And yeah, people can just send me an email at christina@sermondo.com, or they can also use our contact form that you can find pretty easily on sermondo.com. And as Toby said, I always like push him to answer emails when
it's
someone's
a very,
reaching
very
out.
tough job.
Yes, and yeah, if you want to reach out to me, just first Google Orange Klik Augustus. I know you will misspell the Klik and you will misspell my name, but you should get there if you use these 3 words, and add Amazon if you still don't see me. And then probably you will find how to reach out to me. There will be an email address. So thank you very much, guys, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Talk
Bye.
soon.
Thanks.